Hello everybody, welcome back to the Touching Bases podcast. I'm out of studio on a business trip, is what it is, but I want to talk about the Giants. Where are they going to be this year? I think you might be surprised. Let's get it.
Any of them, it felt like. They just found them off.
Hammered back to left, struck it pretty well. Scott to the move back to the fence, and that is gone!
So the Giants have made a few transactions this offseason, and it definitely has built the team up a little bit under the radar. Nobody seems to be talking about the impact that these players are going to be on the team, and I just wanted to kind of highlight a little bit of the things we should keep an eye on. Now, with this in mind, I'm going to put a disclaimer out there. The Giants are, in fact, impressively good at the second half of the season, and they will be. But that's if everybody can stay healthy, and if the players that I'm going to be talking about coming up actually plan to come back when they're expected to come back, i.e. after the All-Star break. Just a heads up also, sorry for the audio guys, I don't have a mic. It's just me and the camera today, and I have my laptop with a little bit of lighting. So forgive me for the quality of this video. The audio should be better. My mic just doesn't seem to work with this new camera, so it is what it is. Bear with me. Let's get to it. So the biggest news that's happened so far is that the Giants signed Jordan Hicks for a 4-year, $44 million contract. Now, the Giants have a major hole in their infield and also their rotation, but with Jordan Hicks, that fills a big gap, being the fact that they only have really one pitcher that they can rely on to be a star stud, keep the runs low, so that way they can win games. That's a big issue, and they've been ignoring this for a long time. A lot of people have been saying that they don't understand why. The Giants seem to just don't care about pitching. They're going to focus on their offense and their defense, and that's about it. But things have changed. Now, what is super exciting about Jordan Hicks? Well, he throws hard. He's 27 years old. He came over from the Cardinals. Is responsible for 2 of the fastest pitches to be recorded since 2008. 2 of them are over 105 miles an hour. Good luck hitting that. I don't care if it has movement or not. If it's going 105, no way. Now, the downside is he did have Tommy John surgery in 2019, so he is susceptible to getting another Tommy John injury. Is he still throwing like he used to? Pretty much, actually. He's kept his velocity up, and that's pretty fairly impressive given a Tommy John surgery. Most of them come back and they're able to do their stuff, but their velocity is lost because either they're babying it or just because it's just not there anymore. Last year he threw a 3.23 ERA and was 28.4% strikeout rate. Really not bad for a reliever. He is a reliever, let me put that in mind. At least he was last year. And then he had a 28.2% whiff rate, which is pretty damn good. So almost 30% of the time guys are whiffing at his balls. Probably because of the fact that he throws so damn hard. Now, when I say he pitched out of the bullpen, I should clarify that he's not going to be a bullpen guy. He is going to be a starting pitcher for the Giants, which is something they absolutely needed. So they're trusting him to go the long haul. Where is he going to fit in the rotation? That's something I'll get to in a little bit, but it is a good pickup by the Giants. It's one more arm added to their arsenal, and they're going to be able to use it next year. And luckily, Jordan Hicks will be ready for the full season unless something happens in spring training. We're only like a month away. In other news, everybody already knows the Mariners made a trade for Mitch Haniger and Anthony Desclafani. Actually, that sounds right. That is right. And they sent over Robbie Ray, a big contract that I know the Giants can handle, and they're going to be fine with it. He's not going to be expected to come back after his Tommy John surgery until after the All-Star break. So he is a huge arsenal weapon to use in that pitching rotation. He's probably going to be like a number 2 right behind Logan Webb, or maybe a 3 if they decide they want to try and save his arm and give him as much starts as possible without re-injuring that elbow. That's just me. I don't know where they're going to put him in there, but in the second half he's supposed to come back, and that's a huge deal. Another one that they would love to add back to the rotation is Alex Cobb. Alex Cobb, awesome pitcher, really good. Last year though, left side, it was a left hip surgery, and he's expected to miss the whole first half of the season just like Robbie Ray. If they can just get all those guys back, you have a deadly rotation. That is going to be very impressive. As of right now, Fangraphs has a projected lineup, which is going to be a leadoff with Young-Ho Lee, and then followed by Estrada, and then Wade Jr. Cleanup will be Wilmer Flores. He was amazing last year. Great huge bat there as the DH. Michael Conforto, I have a lot to talk about him. We'll bring that up here in a minute. JD Davis, followed by Mike Yastrzemski, Patrick Bailey, and then Marco Luciano. And again, I'll talk about Marco as well. I think they have a little bit more faith in him going into this new season, although he's not proven himself. But first off, let's start with shortstop. Shortstop is their weak spot. Unless Wilmer Flores steps in and decides to play on the field instead of be the DH so that JD Davis can slide over, it's more than likely that, and in fact almost guaranteed, that Wilmer Flores is going to be a DH again, especially after his performance last year. But right now, all they have is Marco Luciano. And there's nothing wrong with him. He was expected to play really well, but he has not been able to perform recently. His rookie year, he didn't really play enough to gauge how good of a player he is in the bigs, but it wasn't really that impressive. But from Baseball Savant, he's had an incredible power and could be a huge bat for the team. He's terrible, though, barreling up the ball. His contact is really low for some reason. He's just not getting a good bat on the ball, which is the only thing he needs to really change. If he can just get that eye down and just really see those pitches, he could be a very good addition to that batting order. Now, there's a reason why they put him in the 9 spot. It's because of his performance in the last year. Granted, last year, that's only a 1 take. So I'm thinking based on Fangraph's prediction, like I say always, Fangraph's pretty accurate as far as their predictions of the lineups and how they're going to be set up. I think that the Giants are probably going to stop spending money on any position players because they've pretty much well-rounded it out, and are going to focus on pitching now, which they have, and they're showing it, as Jordan Hicks was just signed a couple days ago. But given that it's very much a big mystery when it comes to Luciano, that is their biggest hole. Now, Wilmer Flores could come out and play defensively. I know JD Davis could slide over and actually play shortstop. Wilmer can take third if they wanted to go that route. Who would they put as a DH? Honestly, you have some options there. Some of them are outfielders because you have your 3, which we'll get into right now. The outfield is a little dicey, and it's not really a bad thing. Let me explain why. There's been some changes going on into 2024. They're pretty loaded. There's probably the reason why they were able to give up Mitch Haniger in that trade for Robbie Ray, because they have like 5 outfielders that are pretty dependable. But they don't seem to be flashing names on ESPN or MLB Network. I don't know why, because their numbers are pretty damn good and solid, especially if you have that trifecta out there. And who is that trifecta? Well, first of all, it made national news. Having Young-Ho Lee coming from Korea as a sign, he's one of the best outfielders that was in Korea, and now that he's a Giant, it's going to be his first year. It's going to see how he's going to be able to perform in the MLB. He's an untested player, but he has showed himself over in Korea, and that's what I was kind of hoping the Mariners would pick up, but obviously they couldn't afford him or something. But the Giants picked him up, and that was a huge addition to their team. The issue is he is a center fielder. He does not play he doesn't play the corner of the outfield. So that means that Mike Yastrzemski, who plays center field, as you guys know, he also plays right field. So here's the question, because the third one that I'm going to mention that I think is going to have a comeback year, according to MLB News, which I agree with, is Michael Conforto. I think he is going to actually perform like he did in 2017 to 2019. He was a heavy bat that knocked a ton of runs on it. It was 25, 26, and 32 home runs in between 2017 and 2019, which is awesome. And then he got an injury, and that knocked him out of, I believe, the 2022 season. He came back in 2023 with 15 home runs. Why not have a breakout season this year now that I believe he's going to be fully healthy? The thing is, he's the right fielder. I don't know how accustomed he is to that brick wall that's out there that I know has caused a lot of inside the park home runs, which if you don't know how to play it, then you're going to allow that, which means more runs, which means a harder time for the pitchers to kind of get out of those innings and keep your ERAs low, and you need better pitching at that point, which they're not going to have the first half of the season. So my biggest concern about the outfield is that you have 3 and really good bats and good defensive players, but given that Yastrzemski has played right field, he has played in the Giants Stadium, he knows that right center field wall, that if it hits in the wrong corner, it bounces all the way over to left field. He knows how to adjust to that. I think it'd be best if he were to play center field, and then Young-Ho Lee learns how to play left field, or manages to play left field while Conforto plays in right field in his home position. He still may be an injury risk, so I'd rather have him playing somewhere where he's familiar with, focus on his bat for the Giants, and then Young-Ho Lee, being in a new stadium, being in a new country. I know it's going to be a big change for him, but might as well put him in a new position just to make it a fresh start altogether. Plus, he's got pretty good range. He's got pretty good speed. I think that would be good coverage. That would help Yastrzemski in center field. But Yastrzemski can stay in center and still be the captain of the outfield. Now, getting back to pitching, obviously I started off with that. They acquired the two major arms, Hicks and Robbie Ray. That's really good. Hicks will be there through the whole season as long as he stays healthy. Robbie Ray will be back in the second half of the season. Alex Cobb will be back in the second half of the season. So that kind of leaves a little bit of a wonder of what's going to happen for the first half. Will they have enough bats to compete while they have I would say, less than stellar rotation? But I could be wrong. Let's be honest. Harrison, he's probably one of the better ones out of the rotation that's there right now. He could impress us. He could do really well, and come the second half of the season, he could still be in that starting rotation. I think he might be possible. But if the Giants have more payroll to spend, and I don't know exactly how much they have, I haven't really dug deep into their finances or anything like that. This is all theoretical. But if they could go out and get Montgomery, if they can get Snell, if they can get another starting pitcher that's on the free agents market right now, maybe a big name, somebody who can really fill in the spot that they would not feel bad cutting someone from the rotation over, then that would probably be the go-to. That would wrap up their offseason. They can call it quits. They can just focus on spring training, get the guys together, get to know each other, have some fun, and then get ready for the season. And there's plenty of reports that are showing that the Giants are the front runners for some of these big names. So there's no reason why they couldn't pull it off. They've come up short pretty much on every single major big name, and they've been doing stuff, small little things on the side, including trades. Now, if they could trade a couple outfielders again and maybe cut into that depth a little bit, they could possibly pick up another big name pitcher, maybe even Cease. Who knows? He's being thrown around everywhere, and there's a lot of people saying that he's going to go to the Mets. There's a lot of people saying he's going to go to the Red Sox. I don't know where he's going to go. I really hate predicting trades because trade rumors are always so ridiculous because nobody knows where they're going. Nobody has the inside until the signing is done. But I'm going to do a hot take here, and I'm going to say that the Giants are probably going to sign one of those guys that are a free agent to add to their starting pitching. That's not going to hinder them, that they would be able to take one of their starting pitchers and put them into the bullpen, and there wouldn't be any bad blood because you have a superstar on the mound. That's just what my guess is. I think that's the one last move that they need to do in order to be competent and strong in this next 2024 season. That's all I really have for you guys today. I know this is a quick video, but I wanted to get out to you and at least talk to you while I'm away in this nice hotel room. I'll enjoy it the best I can. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe. We've just started this channel. We're already up to 60 from what we're seeing, which I know is nothing, but I really do appreciate the first 60 of you guys that did subscribe. If you can, share this video with your friends. If anybody who's a baseball nut that has an opinion, that has a take, who is a Giants fan, share this video with them. Let's have a conversation, and then maybe enlighten me on some things that maybe I don't know based on the research that I have done. But I'm just going to let you guys take this home. I think the Giants are going to be contender and competitor for that NL West against the Dodgers. Everybody keeps talking about how much of a powerhouse. I even agree. I think the Dodgers should win the World Series this next year, and I don't think they have an excuse not to. A lot of their players are one-year contracts, so they're going to lose them after this season. The Giants have a solid team with clubhouse control. So, if you're a Giants fan, please get ready. Please be happy. You have a good team. Conforto, I should dig in a little bit deeper on him in the next one, but he is king. I expect him to have an amazing year and actually give Flores a run for his money as far as the top batter on this team. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.